This digital confession failed the governor. Millions are lost. It's a failure. Let's break it down.
So guys, this is absolutely mind-blowing. So I was watching the most recent video by Nick Shirley exposing these daycare centers. Now, they're going daycare to daycare, and the next one that they go to is called Sweet Angel Childcare. This is where they show up to. And this is the business right here. Sweet Angel Childcare in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, listen to where this phone number goes to when you call this childcare center. Just wait for it.
Thank you for contacting the office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan.
This investigation didn't start in some air-conditioned office. It started on the freezing, frost-covered streets of Minneapolis. Independent journalist Nick Shirley went out to find the actual physical homes of these supposedly well-funded organizations. What he found should make every taxpayer's blood boil. Addresses that were listed as bustling, thriving childcare centers turned out to be nothing but empty parking lots or quiet apartments where nobody was home. We're talking about entities that were reportedly raking in massive amounts of federal child nutrition funding, part of a massive web where over $250 million just vanished because nobody was checking the receipts. Shirley's camera didn't lie when it hit Sweet Angel Childcare. On paper, it's a high-volume operation. In reality, it's a vacant residential complex. The locals are furious, and they should be. They're watching phantom operations set up shop in their backyards while public resources are drained dry. As the footage rolls, the gap between the official state-approved records and the literal physical reality is staggering. It's an ugly, permanent stain on this administration's reputation, and it leaves the rest of us wondering who exactly was asleep at the wheel while the guardrails were being ripped off. Now, here's where it gets truly chilling. The most smoking gun moment of this whole probe didn't happen in a back alley. It happened with a simple phone call. When Shirley dialed the contact number listed for these shady daycare operations, he didn't get a receptionist or a teacher. He got an automated greeting that confirmed he had reached the office of Governor Tim Walz. Let that sink in. The number, 651-201-3400, is the direct line to the state's executive leadership. It's sparked a firestorm of outrage across the country, and for good reason. The governor's team is trying to play this off as a clerical error or some glitch in digital mapping, but the public isn't buying it. How does a private entity accused of being a shell for stolen funds end up sharing a phone identity with the most powerful office in the state? Critics are calling this proof that the system has been conditioned to look out for political allies. The optics here are absolutely devastating. It paints a picture of an administration that's either dangerously incompetent or far more in the loop on these failures than they ever planned to admit. The shockwaves from this have officially reached D.C., and the heavy hitters are stepping in. FBI Director Kash Patel has already signaled a massive surge in resources to hunt down and neutralize this web of corruption. This isn't just a Minnesota problem anymore. National figures like J.D. Vance and Elon Musk are shining a massive spotlight on the North Star state, pointing out a glaring double standard that's hard to ignore. Think about it. Ordinary citizens get hounded by the IRS for a decimal point error, yet these massive systemic failures seem to thrive right under the nose of state leadership. The demand for a full-scale audit and permanent scorched earth changes to these programs is hitting a fever pitch. This has moved past meal programs and daycares. It's about whether we can ever trust these institutions again. As federal agents start tearing these networks apart, all eyes are locked on the governor's office. The question isn't whether the system failed. We know it did. The question is, who allowed it to happen? And who's going to pay the price for turning a blind eye while the public's money was hauled out the back door? Ending.
This report is complete, but the fight is just beginning. Subscribe now to stand with us.